And the breaking news with Governor Inslee announcing that all counties in the state will stay in their current phases for 2 weeks because he says the state is seeing a plateau over the last couple of weeks. And even though hospitalizations are up, deaths are not. They'll reevaluate everything in a couple of weeks. But Kayla Lafferty watched this all happen live as well with the rest of us. Kayla joining us live from Everett. This is not what we expected. They had told these counties to prepare to move backwards. You've got the data to explain why that didn't happen.
Yeah, I do, Steve. And this was something that was pretty surprising. Instead of that dreaded news that many counties are going to be moving back to phase 2, he announced that 2-week pause. And there were some positives sprinkled in there in terms of where our state is at. Inslee said based on vaccination rates and depending on if people stay committed to getting vaccinated, at some point this summer, Washington will have a much more substantial reopening. And as for the 2-week pause, he said the 4th wave of COVID-19 seems to be plateauing and the extra 2 weeks will give them more time to reevaluate.
We're at the intersection of progress and failure, and we cannot veer from the path of progress. Our economy is starting to show early signs of growth. We've had great legislative victories on a number of issues, and we know vaccines are the ticket to full reopening, and we're very pleased about the success to date in that regard.
But this still leaves a big question mark for businesses. It adds 2 weeks to the timeline of uncertainty. I spoke with the owner of Golden Fleece Billiards here in Everett, and he says moving back to phase 2 worries him no matter when that could be. David Berzanadze took out loans and opened Golden Fleece Billiards at the start of 2020. 3 months into that, COVID-19 hit and his business was shut down for a full year. Phase 3 allowed him to open to 50% capacity and business was picking up a little bit. But he just hired back a lot of the employees he had laid off, and now the future of his bar is uncertain.
And we have to let him go again and close down again. I don't know how we're gonna survive, because I have a double bills for the building and taxes and everything, and for business.
Now, one point the governor really hit on today in his press conference was the importance of vaccinations. He's been saying it this whole time. He said that's the only really clear way out of this pandemic. But for now, live in Everett, Kayla Lafferty, King 5 News.
A big change from what we were expecting, the news they have been telling us to expect for the last couple of days. Kayla Lafferty, long morning for you. Thanks for sticking with us here on Noon, live in Everett.